What's up, guys? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com, and in this Madden 20 video, I'm going to break down the best offensive scheme in the entire game. Yes, I'm going to do a full breakdown on the most dominant offense in Madden 20. This offense has it all. You can run the ball, you can pass the ball, you can bomb coverage up top, you can just dot them up through the air. Passing concepts are great. You can block any blitz thrown at you. It's just a really, really good offense. So if you're looking to get better at offense and win more games now, you need to watch this video, guys. So I'm going to be in the single back wing stack out of New Orleans playbook. I want to break down to you guys my audibles, and then we're going to get into the scheme from that point. Like I said, we got some run breakdowns, pass breakdowns, blitz beaters, bombs. We got a little bit of everything. So we do want to look at the audibles real quickly here. I essentially run 3 runs with 2 passes. The way I set my audibles up is as follows. So you can see the wing stack here. I got the HB stretch, the HB dive, the HB belly weak, and PA fork. So those are 4 of my main plays. And again, I said I have 3 runs, 2 passes. Well, if those 4 audibles, you can see 3 runs, 1 pass. What we're going to do is we're always going to come out of the tight end spot play, because this will allow us to always access all 5 of the plays I want, at all times. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button in the corner of the video. And, if you want to never miss out on our content, make sure you turn your notifications on. You will get notified anytime we have a video go live. Now, if you guys are liking the scheme breakdown we're doing, like I said, this is a full scheme of the best offense in Madden 20. If you guys like this, man, drop a like button, man. We hit 500 likes, I will post another full scheme like this for you guys. So 500 likes is the goal. Let's do it in the first 2 days. We do that, you get another free offensive scheme posted on my YouTube channel. Now, in the meantime, if you want more great Madden 20 content, head on over to sportsgamers.com. We got the best Madden 20 tips and ebooks for you guys. With that said, before we break down the passes, I want to briefly go over the run plays. Now, I did do a very extensive breakdown of the runs earlier, so I will pin the link to that video in my comment section for this video, but I just want to briefly go over it here for the guys that missed it. So, the dive, this is essentially going to keep people out of stupid defenses like Big Dime 146, just stupid defenses where the box is so light. Obviously the dive is going to be a good call. Now, most people will not run a defense like this, but if you do see that, it's a good call. Also, if someone's just running 3-4, but they're not really pinching their line or their linebackers, they're just leaving everything spread out, they don't have a safety in the box, that is also the time where I look to hit the dive. To be honest with you guys, most people will only let you run the dive maybe a play or 2 before they start respecting it, and at that point, the dive is good for 5 to 10 yards against those types of defenses, maybe even a crib shot. But, once you do a dive 1 or 2 times, you're probably bound to start to see different types of run defenses to take away the dive. Namely, you're probably going to see something like a 3-4 odd edge blitz or a storm brave, to where, they do have the middle defended very well. And it's at that point that you need to kind of go to some different plays. So this is when I like to bring out the stretch, because one thing that makes this formation very, very unique and different from many others is the alignment of it, guys. You might think this formation looks like the single back wing flex close, and it kind of does. But the thing is, it's single back wing flex close, and a huge difference between this formation and many others like it or similar to it is look at these 2 corners. In this formation, these 2 corners line up directly over the 2 receivers on the left side of the field, which only leaves the 1 safety in the box over here, which is a huge mismatch, guys. We essentially have 2 tight ends to 1 extra defender in the box. Because we only have 1 extra defender in the box and 2 tight ends, the right side is going to be basically free yardage every single time. You can literally just come out, snap, stretch, and if you don't score, you're going to get a huge run like I did there. And that's because of the alignment, guys. They are misaligned in man coverage every time against the stretch from these 3-4 defenses. It doesn't matter if they try edge blitz or storm brave. They could even come out in a different defense like 3-4 bear, but any man-to-man type defense like that with the safety in the box is going to misalign against this formation, which is why you can literally just come out and snap stretch, run into the 2 tight inside the formation, and you're going to get big yardage, guys. Like, see, same thing happened here. They can even try to move their contains outside, which a lot of people do. It doesn't matter, but again, you guys can see the 2 corners always line up over those 2 receivers on the left, snap stretch every single time to the right. And you're going to get a big run. If you don't score, like I said, you're going to get huge opportunities. You'll basically be one-on-one with the safety. And that's even 10 to 15 yards downfield before the safety can even get to you. So you guys do the math. It's cake. Now, eventually they're going to be like, okay, I can't do that. So what's the only other run defense that's any good on this game? It's basically the 3-5 wide, right? And this defense does stop most runs very good, but the reason why I love this formation is you guys can see we have the HB belly weak. Now, what does this 3-5 wide do so good is the two safeties and the spies. Man, listen, those spies shoot up so fast, it's really hard to run dives and stretches on this defense. But the thing is, this belly weak is a very unique run. It actually is a misdirection, and you guys are going to see how well this really works against this defense right here. It's free yardage, guys. I mean, I just got a touchdown, and I didn't even get even close to being touched. And the reason why this works is because we take advantage of the safeties over aggressiveness. The safeties, they just want to come down so hard, and that's why it's a good run defense, because they come down so hard on those spies to stop, the run. They do stop the stretches and dives really good because they're so aggressive. But again, this is a misdirection. It looks like an inside run to the right, but it actually is an outside run to the left. So while those safeties are crashing down, and probably the user too, we're basically have a misdirection going on where the tight end on the right, you can see, comes across the formation to the left. He will block that safety every single time. So now, as long as your two perimeter players hold their blocks, you will have big yardage. So that's like with me in my offense, I make sure that my receivers can block. That is important to me. It doesn't have to be crazy blocking numbers, but there are certain receivers in this game that just tend to block better than others. Actually, a funny example of that is Tyreek Hill. You wouldn't think he's a good blocker, but he actually blocks pretty good for a receiver. And, if you really want to get extra blocking, you can definitely put tight ends in there too. So that's kind of the basis of the run game. The run game is so good from this formation that you can just run the ball down people's throats. You don't even need running back abilities. I mean, you can if you want to make it better, but you just fast running back, you're going to get big holes. So now that you guys know that, I want to move on to the passing breakdown. Okay guys, so now let's get into passing setups. So one thing I really like about this scheme is because of the run game I showed you, it makes passing the ball really easy because you already know what you're going to get. You're essentially going to get probably a 3-4 look, probably a 3-4 odd, maybe 3-5 wide, but you're only going to get certain coverages. You're either going to get an all-out man-to-man defense that's probably going to be blitz heavy to try to stop the run and generate some pressure, or you're going to get, your just basic cover 3 sky or cover 2, cover 4. Against better players, probably more cover 2 and cover 4 because it's just easier to stop the run. But bottom line is it makes passing ball easy because there's only so much you can even do against this formation because of how good the run game is. Now, abilities-wise, you don't need to have any abilities other than tight end that has the extra hot routes, whether you have a tight end apprentice or you just have a hot route master, whatever. But just one tight end with the ability to have hot routes. Obviously, guys, you could make it better by having a hot route master to hot route everybody, escape artist, post flag elite, slot-o-matic, all that stuff you definitely could do, but it's not necessary. So I just put my tight end as the outside tight end that has the abilities. Make sure he's the outside tight end, okay, of the two tight ends. Now, I'm going to start with the play, the tight end spot. So I have two setups to this play, and this is one of my favorite plays because it can easily attack anything you're going to get. No matter what type of D they try to play, you can easily attack them. So let's just start with someone just, sitting back in the cover 4. Because this is a very common defense you are going to face. Once you show that you can run the ball all over them, they're just going to try to be safe and play cover 4 because, yeah, you could just run dive and stretch and, get some decent gains here and there, but you're not really going to consistently break, the huge touchdown runs against cover 4 that you could against some of these other run defenses like the man-to-man stuff because of the way we can manipulate them through this formation. You can still get good runs, but this is just safer, which is why a lot of people will resort to playing some sort of defense like this. All right, so I have two setups for this play. The first setup I'm going to show you, you want to do it with your two tight end side of the formation. It should be on the short side of the field. So here you can see we're close to right hash. That means the right side of the field is the short side, so I'm good to go. If we were on the left hash and I wanted to run this setup, I would flip the formation to put my two tight ends on the left side. So setup's very, very simple. I just wheel route the running back and he's going to go to the wide side. The two receiver side. I'm going to flat the outside tight end and flat the inside receiver. So this is a very simple read here, guys. This is really designed to torch people that are sitting in zone. I mean, it's a good play for man too, but it really is if you see someone consistently just playing zone, and not really blitzing you, but just playing the passive, this is a great call because you have too many reads for them. The first read, you want to look at the right side of the screen for this tight end. on this corner route, it's going to be an easy low ball. I don't care what coverage it is. Once you master this low ball, it's there every time. That is going to need to be usered. If you take a look at the replay, basically, guys, what's going to happen is this flat route is going to take away either the corner if it's cover 2, or if it's like cover 3 or cover 4, the linebacker or safety in the flat, it's going to take him out of the equation. And on that break, if you low ball it, it's there every time. Like I said, you just have to get it away from the hook zone and then low ball it. And if they do not user it, this is a completion every time. Now, the thing is, if they do try to user that, if I see them running over there to user that, now my reads are going to go to the other side of the screen, to the left. So that's what makes this play so easy to run, is the reads are just really simple. So let's say I see them going over there to user that guy, right? As soon as I see that, my eyes are going to the left side of the screen because I know I have 2 perfect reads over there. So again, the running back wheel out of the backfield, he's going to be wide open because of 2 reasons. First of all, the flat route. Again, the flat route's going to take any flat zone away, but then also, if they do have a hook zone, like you see here, they actually do have a hook zone, he has to respect that in route. That's a deep in route, and just by him hesitating at all opens up this avenue. Now, the other thing I want you guys to notice is this guy is actually wide open too, because this is a deep or deeper type in route. It's going to get behind all these zones at a certain point in the play, like right about here. Again, that's actually a route they need to use too, just to illustrate that. Let's say that they man the running back up and, you know, try to use the corner route, okay? So that is a adjustment you will see from time to time, you know, playing this game, something like this. And let's just assume the corner route's covered, even though I know it's not going to be. So you guys will see that this in route, that's free 15, 20 yards right there. That's every time. And that's actually a really, really good route, period. That's going to beat man coverage as well. So let's move on to cover 2. Let's say someone's playing cover 2. So this is great play again for cover 2. It's great play for any coverage, really. This is just a setup I use if they're not blitzing me so much. I will show you a setup later in the video for beating blitzes, but I'm just starting off, and, you know, people that are being a little less aggressive playing coverage. So first of all, again, guys, you can see that corner. You can low ball that even against cover 2. The flat zone is going to manipulate that cornerback to where he's not going to be able to react to that low ball, because the flat route is going to, again, manipulate him enough to where we can get that soft spot. Bam. So again, still going to need to be user. Now, again, let's say they do user it. That's when my eyes go to the opposite side of the field. So if I see that, I already know, like, okay, need to go away from the corner route, so I'm going to look at the running back side. Guys, you can see, again, the running back is wide open. Reason being is the flat route takes the flat corner to the sideline, and then that in route takes the hook zone back. Now, again, later in the play, if they do not respect that in route, it's going to be open later in the play. But right here, I mean, I have 2 reads already open right off rip. Also, I mean, you could throw to the flats, but you don't really, you don't really want to do that unless you have to. But again, running back is wide open. And if you look at cover 3, you will see that, this will beat that as well. Cover 3, this is going to it's going to destroy cover 3. And you will see a one-play touchdown later in the video for cover 3. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so you don't miss out on that, guys. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of these setups. You can send that guy in motion if you want. It doesn't really matter. Again, guys, same thing's going on here. My first read's a corner out. If they don't guard that, I throw it every time. If they do guard it, then I just move to the other side of the field where I know I have either the running back or potentially the in route, depending upon the coverage they play. And you don't have to motion that guy in the flat. He's just, he's serving his own purposes. You guys can see the running back and the in route are both wide open. I chose the in route. So there's 3 people on this play that kill zone coverage. Now, I have another setup to this play I'm going to show you now. Now, this setup is probably better for that all-out man-to-man blitzing guy, right? This is a better setup if you see that. So we're going to look at edge blitz here just to show you guys. I know I've shown you how to kill it on the ground. Let's show you how to kill it through the air too. So with this setup, I actually like my tight ends to be on the wide side of the field. So I'm going to move the ball to the left hash. So now you can see my 2 tight ends. They are on the wide side. So again, if we happen to stay on the right hash like we just were before I moved the ball to where the left hash was the wide side, I could just flip the formation to have my 2 tight ends over there so that they would, then be on the wide side of the field. But I just, for the purpose of the video, moved the ball, so we could do it easier that way. But again, tight ends need to be on the wide side of the field for this setup. So, this is a heavy man-to-man 7-man blitz, edge blitz. Obviously we could just snap stretch here, but say we do need to throw the ball. All right, so for this setup, what I'm going to do is pretty simple. I'm going to block this tight end right here, the inside tight end. I'm going to post this tight end right here. I'm going to do a hitch to this guy, and then I'm going to do a motion slant. Now, guys, you can leave him on this route. This route is like a table route kind of. What I actually like to do is wheel route him, and this does two things. First of all, most of these have heavy man-to-man blitzes. They just don't even have the running back guarded, so I already know this, so I can just throw it to him right away and make them basically user him. Now, the last adjustment is to just motion this receiver on the slant route one step to the inside and snap the ball. He will be unbumpable like that. But that's always my first read, is the running back out of the backfield, because I already know as soon as I see this defense that 9 times out of 10, or any man-to-man blitz, it could be like pinch buck zero, whatever. I already know 9 times out of 10 they just do not guard this guy, right? They just don't guard him. So I'm going to make them guard him, right? I will make them guard him. And, as soon as they do that, then you're giving up over the middle. So let's say that, again, this is the user, the safety here. People always use the safety. Let's say that they just guard him. So the best way to kind of imitate that, just man him up. Now, again, I only am blocking the tight end here, so I'm not going to have all day to make these reads. So you do need to be quick on these reads because we're not max protecting or anything here. But as soon as you see them go guard that running back, that's cool, because immediately now my slant route is going to be wide open over the middle of the field, and so will the post. Now, the thing about this setup, guys, is if you really, really want to make sure you do have time to make your reads here, you don't have to force a quick pass, to the flat or over the middle. You can easily do that by just blocking the tight end and the running back, and then doing the same setup with the post, hitch, and motion slant. You don't have to have the running back. You guys can see here through your reads. You guys can see here I can just sit here, make my reads. I could wait for the post. I hit the slant. It's easy to do. Now, same thing goes for the setup if they are in a zone blitz. So let's go with the zone blitz. Let's start with a cover 2 zone blitz, then we'll go to cover 4. Again, guys, first of all, I want to note that anyone who is running this type of defense against you, to where they're in a 3-4 odd, it's obvious they're just blitzing the crib. I don't care if they're in zone, cover 4 man, cover 2. I don't care. It really doesn't matter, guys. There's a motion you can do against these types of defenses that will allow you to get huge yards. Literally, all you have to do is just motion this receiver over and let him pick up this cornerback, assuming he's in cover 2. And, yeah, now you're one-on-one with the safety, and if that guy gets blocked like he does there, it's a foot race. So I do want to say, if you ever see that 3-4 odd blitz setup just like that, and just use that motion to pick up that corner on the edge, and it's off to the races. All right, guys. Now let's say you actually do have to pass against that look I just showed you guys. You can do so extremely easily. It's very easy to pass against that from any of the plays I run out of this formation. But we're gonna show you guys the easiest way to do so just now. So you ever see this and you need to pass the ball? We'll stay in the tight end spot. I'm literally gonna do the same thing where I block the tight end and the running back, do my post, do my hits, do my motion slant. Now, what I do is I do the mic as this blitzer right here on the right, and then I just do my little motion, and it's going to get picked up every single time, as you guys can see here. Now, I literally could have just sat there and, had a snack, made a sandwich. No one is going to come free ever from this 3-4 odd blitz. And again, they can't run big dime. They can't run exotic blitzes. They're going to have to stick in blitzes like 3-4 odd. They can't even run something like 3-4 even, because 3-4 even is too unbalanced. 3-4 bear, again, too unbalanced. So if they're going to blitz you, it's going to have to be like 3-4 odd, because it's it's balanced. So here you guys can see everything's get picked up. I can pick basically who do they user here. Do they user the slant? Do they user the post? Maybe even the hitch? They only have one user, and I have 3 good reads here. And you guys can see I've spoken about this many times, but I've essentially created a triangle with my routes. You can see here, bam, bam, bam. You cannot use a triangle when you're in zone coverage, ever. There's no way to do that. We're just going to pick who they user and go the other way. So, obviously, that's not going to be a good defense either. But I do want to show, now that I've shown you guys how this can easily attack the blitz, now I want to get back into the coverages that I was breaking down before. So let's start with just cover 2 sync. So with this setup, guys, again, I'm going to do the wheel, block this inside tight end, do the post, and then do the hitch and the motion slant. That's all I'm really looking to do. And I essentially am reading first with the slant and the wheel, and secondly with the hitch and the post. So this motion slant, it's a route I've talked about a lot on this channel, but you have to user that. Even if it's tight coverage, you can lowball it, and I promise you, you're never going to get, that picked off. You know, you might not always get 1,000,000 yards, but I can promise you one thing. You will definitely get yards. You will definitely get at least 4, 5, 6 yards every time you throw that. And sometimes you'll get much bigger gains, especially if they blitz you. But even if they don't blitz you, you'll get yards. You guys can see here, I didn't even motion it there. I just lowballed it. I mean, it's free yards. I don't care what coverage they're in. They have got to user that. Now, let's say that they do user it, or I just need to go to another read. You guys will see this is why this play is so good, is that the post will be open every play against every single coverage. Let's start with cover 2. You guys can see this is a cloud flat cover 2. Again, they drop back on, or the corner drops down, I should say, to guard that hitch, and the post is going to be open every time. That was clouds. The same thing will happen if they do soft squats, guys. It does not matter if they're in the soft squat or cloud flat. That post is going to get open every single time. And again, you must have these 2 receivers on the short side of the field, putting the tight end side of the formation on the wide side. It's very key to make sure this works every single time for you guys. Again, look, soft squat is nowhere to be found as well. Now, you want to go a step further and say, what about cover 4? What about cover 3? I promise you guys, no deep zone is ever going to stop that route. You could even do a cover 4 pressed up baseline with those outside quarters, and that's not going to stop it either. I want to illustrate that here. That will be open every single time, literally like clockwork. If they do not user that, that is your read. You guys can see here, I'm doing cover 4. I pressed with baseline. That's an outside quarter. It's not going to stop that, ever. There's 0% chance this will ever get defended if you know how to throw this route. And then you still do have to worry about the motion slant underneath. You guys can see that's just an easy dive catch every time I click on hit Y if on Xbox, triangle if on PlayStation, and I'm getting that animation. So, I mean, there's really no way to stop this play because you have to user that, and at the same time, you always do have to user the motion slant too. So, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? There's not much. I can promise you that. Again, look how open that motion slant gets. That's 3 yards. I know he dropped the ball. Alright guys, so now you see that. I just want to illustrate once more. This motion slant really is that unguardable. Same exact defense I was just in. You know, I just covered 4. This time I'm going to do the motion slant. You guys are going to see that if they do not user that, it is an every time thing. So now they're going to go user the post because you've hit that a few times. Look, slant, low ball, free yardage. Alright. Because of the wheel route, it just opens up that seam for the slant so well. Because if they do have someone that would normally be sitting over there, he's got to slide out to the sideline to stop that flat. So now it's just on these hook zones. And normally that's going to be the user. And if it's not, the computer will never guard it. But if they basically, you have to pick. Am I going to use it a slant or the post? And I just go the other way every time. So this play has the ability to beat any coverage if they're only rushing 3 guys. And at the same time can also beat a 7-man blitz. That's why this play is so money. It is so money. Now the last play I want to look at is PA fork. And there's a few variations to this play. First of all, I want to show you guys how good this is against the, you know, man-to-man blitz type look. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the man-to-man blitz look. Now, there's 2 ways to run this play. First way is, again, if you're expecting a blitz. Second way is if you're not expecting a blitz. So the only thing you need to know about this play is to make sure that you have your tight end side of the formation on the short side. All right, very important. So let's just go over this against man coverage first. And you'll see that this will easily block the blitz. So again, we just block the running back and inside tight end. And all I do, other than that, if I'm expecting the blitz, is I put this tight end on a corner route and I motion him. Now, this setup right here is for man-to-man blitz, like edge blitz. I would not run this against a zone blitz. If I was expecting zone blitz, I would go back to the tight end spot. But for man-to-man blitz, this is another way to kill them. So just go ahead, motion the corner, you throw it on the break. Man-to-man, that's not stopping that. Especially if that tight end has post-flag elite, it's game over. But even with a tight end that doesn't, you guys can see, very easy. Now, with this receiver right here that's on the outside, I did forget to mention that he should probably be your fastest receiver as well. Because this play right here, you guys can see, I'm going to put Goodwin in. Goodwin is fast, but, you know, he is on a deep post route. This can be a one-play touchdown for cover 3, the way we're going to set it up. But also, as you guys can see, where's Goodwin at? He's 98 speed. If they play man coverage and do not, and you know you have a good receiver running this against man, especially if he has post flag elite, because again this is a deep post, he will cook him over the top. So they're gonna have to stay over the top for this play. Otherwise, the post is gonna be a one-play touchdown against something like this. man-to-man. But even against cover 3, you'll see it'll be a one-play touchdown in the second here. Now, the last thing I want to mention in this play, when we're going over beating the blitz, is that the route to the slot, that little weird corner route, that route is so money. It gets open every time against man. You can see this is just a regular receiver, nothing crazy, no abilities, going against Trey White, and he's going to cook him. So the corner route, we already know when we motion, he's always open. Now watch this receiver right here on the break. He gets open every single time. You just anticipate it and throw it. That corner, I don't care how good he is in man coverage. I don't even have a good receiver, but he is open every time. So to have a route like that that's open every play is good. The tight end corner is open too. And again, because they're on this deep safety and this run D, if they don't drop back deep to guard the post, that's going to be a one-play touchdown too. But if they come up and try to stop one of these out-breaking routes with the safety, just hit the post over the top for a one-play touchdown. Very, very easy thing to do. All right, now I want to show you guys how I would run this against more so zone or more so coverage. So first thing I want to show you guys is it is a one-play touchdown against cover 3. Very, very easy to do. All right, so you can run this a few different ways. Like if you are thinking they're going to blitz you, right, and you just want time, you want as much time as possible. What you can do is just block the running back, do a corner out to the outside tight end. And then I like to delay fade the inside tight end. And then at this point, I would just this guy, you can almost do whatever you want with him. You could, honestly, you could just motion block him. If you really want to make sure you get that safety out of the way, the best bet is to streak him. You could just put him on a hitch if you wanted somebody who you could potentially playmaker. Or you could just maybe put him on a drag, something over the shallow area of the field. Or like I said, if you really want as much time as you could possibly get, you can even motion block him to add another blocker. You guys can see that this is going to be a one-play touchdown every single time against this look because basically the corner route is going to pull down that corner on the right, and the post is just, as long as you have a fast receiver there, he's going to run right by that safety. So once you see him cross the safety's face, you just lead it, a bullet pass out in this area. As long as that's a fast receiver with a quarterback that has some good throw power, it's a touchdown every time. If you're going up against a really, really good safety that, just is making good plays on the ball, if you just streak the receiver that I motion blocked, he will be completely out of the play. Like you see over here, this corner route makes this corner respect him, which opens up the space behind for the one-play touchdown. So, you can always hit the one-play touchdown if they do not put their corner on the right in the deep half. Now, this is why it's important to have the tight end side of this formation on the short side when you run this play, is because you want to make sure that he doesn't have to run all the way across the field. He's running to the short side. Now I want you guys to look at how much even more open it gets when you put the streak out there. Now that safety, he's not even close. But you don't even need to do that most of the time. That's just another way you could do it. All right, so that's like if they are blitzing you to where, you think you need extra time. Now this is the setup I would run if I'm not really worried about the blitz. Okay, so if I'm not worried about the blitz, I'll still delay fade and corner out the two tight ends over here. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wheel route the running back and put the slot on a flat. Now, this is really good because I still will have some extra time with this delayed route, but now if I need a quicker read, I do have a quicker read. As you guys can see here, the running back is going to always be open unless they user him. And that's really crucial because a lot of times people will just see this deep post and they'll be like, oh crap, this could be a one-play touchdown, right? And instead of usering it, they'll just go and guard the running back. And if they do use the one-play touchdown, then our running back will be open every time out of the backfield because that wheel flat combo is unguardable against against any sort of zone in the game. It doesn't matter. Now the other thing that makes this very good is, let's just say that you expect they might be in cover 3, so you're trying to bomb them over the top, but now they actually switch it up and they switch it to something that you can't bomb them as easily like a cover 2. Well, that's why this is so good, because now you have another read on your field that you can take advantage of. Like say you were trying to bomb them, but now obviously you can't. There, hit the wheel route, 3 yards. And then the other thing that you can really do to make this even better is if you don't want to have that delayed fade, you can just put your tight end right here. Just put them on a flat route, because now when you work the flat with the corner, it's even harder to defend, because now not only is the corner going to pull that guy back, but now because I have a flat route, and when I say that guy, he's going to pull the corner back so you can bomb him. But now that I have a flat route, on that side of the field too. If I need another read potentially, I can just do my same low ball tactic to the tight end on the corner route, because now that flat zone, he's going to pull those guys away from me, whether they're in cover 2 or anything really. He's just going to pull that flat zone completely away from me. So now I have another option on this play to go along with my one play touchdown and my wheel route to my running back. As you guys can see, again, that looks covered, but I promise you guys, you master the low ball, it will never be covered. So I hope you guys enjoyed this scheme. I've shown you how to dominate through the run and through the air. I've given you a one-play touchdown. I've given you just straight-up dots that will beat every coverage. And I've even given you guys blitz beaters too. I've given you ways to block the blitz and also attack the blitz. Routes that beat every coverage. Plays that have multiple guys that need to be user guarded. I've given it all to you. So, man, show the love. Smash that like button. Remember, 500 likes in the first 2 days this video is out. You're going to get another scheme like this for free on my YouTube.